Lesson 122.
Ich gehe.
Lisa, as I look at the different forms of this verb, I'm seeing that it looks pretty regular to me. It doesn't look weird in any way.
No, in the present tense, it's pretty regular.
Okay. So you just add the personal endings like you would for any regular verb.
Mm-hmm.
And so this verb is doing something very useful for us. Literally, it's getting us going, giving us the ability to make a sentence in which we say we're going someplace. And now we can actually use the prepositions that we know with the accusative case. We can say in plus the accusative now. For example, in exercise 1, at the very beginning of the sentence, we have ich gehe, and then at the end of the sentence, we have ins Kino.
Yes, and you will often find an adverbial phrase of direction. You would find that at the end of a sentence very often.
And that's a concept that we're going to talk more about later, the idea of time, manner, place, right?
Right. But you already see it put in place here for the place. So if you look at the example sentences, you will see ins Kino at the end, in den Supermarkt at the end, and so forth.
Okay, so let's give our listeners a little sneak preview of what's going to come later. When you have adverbial phrases in a German sentence, they tend to go in a certain order. And the way to think about it is as follows: time, manner, place. Adverbs or adverbial phrases that pertain to time tend to go first. Then, adverbs or adverbial phrases that pertain to manner. And then finally, adverbs or adverbial phrases that pertain to place. And so just as Lisa said a moment ago, we have that very thing right here in exercise 1. Because jede Woche, Lisa, is an adverbial phrase that means every week, right?
Right. It describes the time.
So in our time, manner, place scheme, here we have jede Woche first as the time element. And manner, how are you going to the movies? You're going mit meinen Freundinnen, with my friends, right? Mm-hmm. That's the manner. So that's an adverbial phrase. It's a prepositional phrase, but it's really acting in an adverbial fashion here. And then finally, where are you going? Ins Kino. So time, manner, place, we see that perfectly illustrated here in this sentence, which, by the way, you probably helped us write, or at least correct.
Yes. Well, often you only have one or two of these adverbial phrases. So to have all three of them is a little harder to manage and not as common, I would say.
But it's a nice example, I think, for
Definitely.
studying the time, manner, place thing. And by the way, Lisa, when I say I couldn't have done this book without you, I mean literally I couldn't have I couldn't have done it without you.
I'm glad to help.
Okay, so before we leave this lesson, quick review. We have ich gehe. It's a new verb that allows you to say you're going someplace. And then at the end of the sentence, you can have the place you're going with the preposition in, meaning to, and then the place you're going in the accusative case. Because in, when it means to, and it's expressing motion toward, it has to take the accusative case.